beauty is a career path. Looking good really opens the door for you.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes looking good is not just about your physical appearance in terms of, your features as a woman or a man, how pretty or handsome you are. Sometimes looking good is as a result of having the right etiquette.
Yeah.
It's just work. We're trying not to take it too seriously.
But really, it is your career and you need to take ownership of it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back. Oof. Welcome back. Good to be here. Good to see you guys, even though I don't see you. All right. Cool. Today we are continuing our landing that offer series.
Yep.
And I think this is the third episode in the series.
Yes, it is.
And today we're going to be combining two things we think would help you land that offer. And today we're talking about etiquette, interview etiquette, and body language. Interview etiquette that gets you hired. That's really what we're going to be focusing on today.
Yeah.
I was watching something yesterday, and the person had said something about beauty is a career path, something like that. And what he was trying to say was, looking good really opens the door for you.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes looking good is not just about your physical appearance in terms of, your features as a woman or a man, how pretty or handsome you are. Sometimes looking good is as a result of having the right etiquette.
Yeah.
I mean, etiquette is already right on its own, so having etiquette.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the right etiquette to help you get hired. There's certain things, there's just some certain way you position yourself that puts a halo around your head, right? And puts a halo around your head and pulls people toward you. Endears, that's the word I'm looking for. It makes you endearing, right? And that's what we'll be talking about today. So let's talk about how you behave during an interview. What's the right way to behave during an interview? What's the right stance to take during an interview? Kola, do you want to add to that before we get in?
We'll look at the right stance, how to behave, setting like do's and don'ts, when you're in an interview and all of that. I think that's what we're going to be focusing on today.
Absolutely.
And we'll try and touch on like virtual, things that will apply in a virtual interview and then as well as in person, because we find out that many organizations begin to do in-person interviews. So we'll try and capture those two modes of interviews during this.
All right, great. So the first point we have is first impression matters. You've heard it over and again. It's the first time someone is meeting you, you have to put your best foot forward. So the first thing is, whether it's a virtual interview or a physical interview, be early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Virtual interviews, we've heard things like, oh, I'm sorry, my connection wasn't great. My connection is choppy. My camera, something is wrong. We know those technological hiccups happen, but try to avoid tardiness, whether it's an in-person interview or a virtual interview. The next point is dress to match company culture. Bukola, do you know that I have heard, and I'm trying to juggle my memory to see if I've seen it happen firsthand, but I've heard of situations where, in terms of dressing to match the company's culture, if a company's culture is like business casual or casual, and someone is corporately dressed, do you know that even that had a negative impact on the person?
Oh, yes.
So sometimes we hear things like, oh, be corporately dressed.
Yes.
But you have to know what the dress culture is in the organization.
True. Very true.
If this is very laissez-faire, relaxed, blah, 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 you go and you have your suit and tie and cravat and all these things, and they're like, Dalili, who are you? Who is this?
Oh my god.
So dress to match the company's culture. Um, greet with a smile, and if it's in person and a handshake is extended, meet it with a firm handshake.
Absolutely.
You don't go to an interview and you're frowning and you're like, that's my resting face. That's, this is who I am. There's nothing I can do about it. No. Put on a smile. Be personable. Be personable, be amiable, be warm. It draws people to you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, very spot on. We can go on for the examples, like candidates that we have met in the past who have just, displayed all manners of things that, let's not go into that now, but you get the gist, right? Yeah. So I'll be speaking now. So this is about first impressions. So they can discover that. I'll talk about, okay, while you're in the interview, right? I think first things first is to silence your phone.
Right.
It can be very rude and distracting.
Yeah.
Maybe more distracting. Of course, it's not your intention to make you rude, but yeah, I think distracting more is the word. If you have your phone, even if it's on a vibrate mode, like that sound still can be very distracting and just interrupts the flow and all that. Just turn it on silent, put it on do not disturb, and then just so you're able to focus and really put in your 100% best into that interview, right? Maintain eye contact, and this applies to, and again, by the way, like I said, we're speaking both from an in-person perspective and also a virtual interview. You all trust me, you can say, oh, because you're virtual, your phone can be on silent. It's still sometimes if your device doesn't have a noise cancellation function, those sounds will be picked up and can still kind of form some kind of will not give it a great vibe to the whole interview experience for both parties, by the way. So it applies to in-person, it applies to virtual. Same as maintaining eye contact, very key. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, I mean, we can talk about it here, around from a virtual interview standpoint. Fine, it's easier for you to maybe maintain eye contact during a one-on-one interview, like maybe physical interview. But, virtual, it can be very, especially because of the way, and I am also guilty of this, where, you think you're looking at your screen, because you feel like you're looking at the person, but actually you're looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And I think someone who pointed that out, I was like, oh my word, like I did, like it's so true. But you really think you're looking at them, but actually you're not looking at them. You're looking at the camera. And I think many people are very, what's the word now? I'll say default in that area, to be honest. But you have to consciously make sure you're maintaining eye contact, whether in person by looking at the panel members, or if it's just one person, just maintain eye contact, or in person, look at the camera as well when you're doing that. Also, do not interrupt. So don't say, for example, they're trying to maybe interviewer ask me a question, say, and maybe she's trying to say, oh, some interviewers deliberately do those things to rile you up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, for example, they say, so are you saying that the reason why you're leaving your organization is because you have a toxic boss or something? And for the person, like, oh, no, I didn't say that. Oh, no, you're getting me wrong. The person not even landed.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're about to say. I know how that thing can, or you feel like you want to complete their statement. You know what they are going to say.
Right. Don't do that.
Please don't do it, though. Yeah. I beg you. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
Just, no matter how it's itching you and your body is feeling like your blood is jumping and everything, just relax.
Yeah.
Let the person land or whatever thing they're trying to say, and then you respond.
Absolutely.
Even if they got what you said incorrect, like they got it incorrectly, let them learn, and then you can now clarify. But some may even, some interviewers, I know some interviewers, yes, they are not so, they also maybe lack basic etiquette, and I get it. But we're not here to talk about it. I think, on this side, how can you
don't mirror them?
Don't mirror them. Because sometimes some interviewers they'll try to bring out something in what you said, they just go next to the next question.
Yeah.
They're not even giving you room to, please, when that kind of thing happen, and it does happen a lot of times, say, oh, before I answer the question, I'd like to clarify, a point. Just respectfully, in a very, very polished tone, everything. And you're not fighting with anybody. You're just trying to like, well, I'd like to clarify. Oh, that I think what I was trying to say was, and then now answer the question. You get what I mean, right? And basically just treat everyone respectfully on the interview. Again, we get it. Sometimes you don't meet that same attitude or behavior, but you do the right thing. do the right thing, maintain your calmness, your composure,
Mm.
no matter what vibe the other person is giving you.
Yeah.
Just maintain your own stance, and I think that will be fine.
Yeah. No, true. I was when you were talking about silencing your phone, even if it's on vibrate mode, I just remembered, and I think it's a good example to share. There was this time I had an interview, and I was out of town. I was out of the country, and so I took the interview in the hotel room.
Right.
Because I absolutely forgot to put the do not disturb on the door. So, and it was, housekeeping came, and it was in some country in Europe, English isn't their first language, right? So I was on the floor, really talking, passionate about what I was saying, and this lady was knocking, and the knock kept increasing in volume. And one time I told the interviewers, I'm so sorry, give me a second. I muted my mic, turned off my camera, and then I told the lady, I am busy, don't call me. But again, she didn't understand English, right? I think I was in Poland or something. She didn't understand English. So I thought she had heard me. I unmuted, turned on my my camera. Then she came in.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
And of course, I had to again ask them to excuse me. Turned off everything, and then I showed her the please don't stop, leave me, and then she, of course, went away. But my point is, that's something else that you should also pay attention to.
Very, very key.
Yes,
Wow.
Yes. So it all falls under etiquette. Of course, I had to apologize to them. I'm so sorry. I don't think they were offended, but I felt very ill prepared, or ill mannered. I just felt like I should have known better, So the other point we'll talk about, just sort of closing this out, is follow-up etiquette. So we talked about before, we've talked about during the interview, and now we're talking about after the interview. Now, let me put this as a disclaimer, if you like. This is from our research. Personally, I don't as an HR person, I don't care. I don't care for thank you notes.
Likewise.
I don't care. I hardly read it, but I've heard etiquette-wise is the right thing to do, right? Someone has spent their time interviewing you. The right thing to do is send a thank you note, just saying, thank you for your time, blah, blah, blah. I've also heard that if you can remember if you can personalize the thank you, it goes even farther. If you can remember something that happened during the interview, and this happened to me recently. So I wasn't sending a thank you note. I was the interviewee. I wasn't sending a thank you note, but I'd gone through maybe about 3 or 4 levels. At the first level, the person I talked to, I had to share something I was going to do. Let's put it that way. At the third stage, she remembered that I'd shared that with her. And she said, oh, are you still going ahead with the trip, blah, blah, blah. And she remembered the detail I shared with her. And I thought that was very commendable, because this is a recruiter. She talks to hundreds of people, but somehow she remembered that detail. Sorry, I'm getting somewhere with this story. So anyway, I remember speaking to her own superiors still during the interview process. I'd gone to the last round or something, and I remembered to commend this person to her manager. So I told her manager that I just wanted to shout out,
amazing,
this person. There was something I told her, and then weeks later she remembered. I thought that was good candidate experience. Right. So even though I didn't send her a thank you note, I commended Chuyi.
Guys, I'm sure I just learned this, right? So I'm eager to use it every time.
Yeah. Bukola has given Taki a rest, and now this is what she's going for. But you get the drift.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely,
but yeah,
absolutely.
Basically, it was that was my way of thanking her, but also sort of calling her manager's attention to her strong points, something she did well during the interview. So anyway, all of that to say, if you can, whether the HR person cares or not, it's good etiquette to send a thank you note or a personalized commendation to them or whatnot.
No, that's amazing, Dickem. I think I like that angle of just spotlighting the team member to their manager. I think goes a long way. Maybe they'll say, maybe they will not, but at least yeah, I think it's a good one. Another thing here, and maybe we'll just jump quickly into the body language piece, right? And one of the and I think we already mentioned some things already, but one of the ones here that that I think we've not mentioned or really spoken much about will be around, your overall body posture, so to speak. So, and again, like I said, this applies to virtual or in person, right? So, for example, you're fidgeting with your hair, a pen, your clothes, and before people throw a stone at me, I know that I do it quite a lot, even when I'm speaking. Like maybe just touching my hair or touching my clothes or doing this or whatever. But really, those things, some interviewers may just overlook it. They are even probably even doing worse. These are people interviewers coming up on the screen and they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I just got lunch and we had back-to-back meetings and they're just eating their lunch and remember that person told you about."
And they'll ask you, "Do you mind?" As if I said yes, I mind. Yeah.
If I thought I was like, I wish I could come and be eating lunch. Maybe I eating lunch. Why are we eating lunch together?
How would you feel?
But please don't eat lunch.
Whether you're an interviewer or you're an interviewee, don't.
Of course, you can take water, all of this. That's okay. That's fine. But like eating, that would just be distracting. So please don't do it. But yeah, so fidgeting with something, basically, whether your hair, something, your body, whatever, try to avoid that. Just try to avoid that. Again, it can be distracting. Also slouching. So just sit down, or like this, or just something like not showing that confidence or. How they say that, like even the way you sit, the way you present and everything, it tells a lot about the kind of person that you are. So you want to make sure that you're coming across as confident, as put together, as composed and everything. And just, that way, they're not having second doubts even before you speak and all that. So make sure you're taking note of that. Another thing is now then being robotic or, coming across as being robotic. And again, this can, I think we mentioned that during our last episode around maybe you've memorized something like it's here and just have to you memorize something and then you're trying not to forget. I just do. If I start slamming, you take this point for this point, take that point, everything's just all over the place. You don't come across as that way. And also, it can also sound robotic. You may not cram anything, but just because you are so nervous.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out of it.
Nerves,
They are real. Let's not even lie. Those nerves are real.
Yep.
Especially with in-person interviews. Oh my God. You
just start sweating under your arm.
Oh no, that one happens normal. In-person, that has to be a panel interview. You can just killed me. I'm telling you, you just killed me. But again, it happens.
Yeah.
But just I think some of the things that could help is just also rehearsing, like doing like a dry run, get your close friends, your family members, or even if you don't get them, take your phone, record yourself, and then evaluate yourself, and just, maybe you can send somebody that's trusted, like, what do you think? Did I sound, but yeah, the nerves are real, let's not even lie, the nerves are real, but these are some of the things that can help to just help you overcome those things as well.
The other point I was going to add, and I think that this is really important, is and this is for virtual interviews, use your natural gestures to portray confidence. During a virtual interview, use your hands. Because you think about it. It's virtual. We're not in the same environment. And if I'm just sitting this way, like nothing else about me is moving, I'm not communicating passion or enthusiasm because I'm just here answering your question, looking at my camera. But when you use like your natural gestures, you're using your hands. What else do people do that communicates like passion?
I think using your hands definitely. I think also like the way you also like your expressions on your face. To show expression on your face. Tone as well. The tone as well. Where you're not just speaking on a flat tone all through, like, but you're trying to emphasize something. You use a high, a higher pitch. You're trying to say so. Being able to adjust in terms of tone as well.
The interviewer asks a question that maybe resonates with you. Smile and say, "You know what?
I like this.
So don't be robotic. Don't be too like expressionless because it's virtual. It's just the interview is just going to be flat. and the interviewer is going to think that you don't find the job interesting.
Yes.
You're
you
not
don't want to be
passionate.
here.
Like you're disinterested, enthused.
Hmm.
So use your natural gestures.
Yeah.
It's very important
Yeah.
to communicate passion and interest and things like that.
No, absolutely, they comes. And and I think pretty much, like we said before, don't I guess that sometimes the mode you meet with the interviewer can kind of set the tone, but try not to fall, especially if it's a very like an offy mode in quotes. Try not to fall into that, because it will affect your presentation and the way you respond and everything. To affect your own overall outlook. So try to still come across as confident, update, and putting your emotion and everything into it, irrespective of how the interviewer, the vibe the interviewer brought along. The truth of the matter is that if they realize that you've set a particular stage, they will then pick up, because these things are kind of contagious, right? Maybe they can now snap at them and become more, more expressive or something of that sort. But if it's a low, if it's from a low vibe, don't go that low vibe, because it just goes very low, and then you just realize all the things you prepared for were not coming. Like, it's just going to be it will be a great experience, really. So I think that's something.
Very true. Very true. Thank you, Bukola. And that really brings us to the end of this episode today. We wish you all the best in your interviews. Go out there, be confident. The worst thing that could happen is they say, "We regret to inform you."
That's so spot on.
Unfortunately. Well, you know what? It's okay. It's like
It's okay.
You keep getting better at this interview thing, and the job that's for you will come. Don't worry.
For sure.
It might tarry, as the Bible says, but it will come.
It will come.
So thank you guys as usual for sticking with us, for watching. We ask and we hope that you like, you subscribe, you share, you leave your comments. And you help us keep growing our channel. Thank you for being here, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.